Hey everyone, we just had a huge console mod drop in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager alongside some mod updates, and this is a really exciting one because my Heartsworn Knight Fighter mod is now available on console, coming with a bunch of unique attacks and spells, but we also got the Mindflayer Race mod, some outfits like the Stellar Nocturne here, new feats like the Tarot Feat Major Arcana, the over-explained interaction options Verbose, a new option for console players, alongside a bunch of head mods, and there's some solid ones here, so I'll be breaking down everything in this video. Now I'm really excited the Heartsworn Knight that I made is now on console. Larian's been using it in their live stream playthroughs, which I think is amazing. This comes with a few different cantrips, weapon attacks, as well as new items and a full set of armor. This is the spell selection that you get. You have both the protect and the control spell selections here. It also has full support for Dawnstar's mods here, so if you want to add additional spells into the mix. But it comes with this special Cupid's Arrows attacks here, alongside 9 different summons. And with the summons, you can actually summon in 3 of them at a time, including this unique pink Sabertooth that I found in the game's files that was unused with a portrait of it. Pretty cool stuff. And the mod even comes with a spell here to summon in your own weapons and the Cupid's Arrow, but also comes with the Heartsworn Armor set, which is a unique armor set that I made for this mod. And I gotta say, it does look pretty cool. Also with my mods, I like to open things up to make it as accessible for other types of playstyles. You can actually do an unarmed build here. You can focus on these spells because you do get one choice of an evocation spell alongside like the magical secrets. This is kind of like the Eldritch Knight, but it does have less damage per round, but more utility than it. It's more so like a controller and an attacker, where the Eldritch Knight is just a booming blade bot. But a fighter doesn't typically want to do spell attacks. They obviously want to be doing weapon attacks, but I made it so that it does have spells that'll sustain itself. So if you wanted to cast something and give yourself a bit of extra healing, you do got options there, and even things like the Lover's Lament here. Now, this was obviously made with like Valentine's Day in mind. It has a red and pink theme, and you have those 9 different summons. There's red and pink versions of the cats and dogs here. Alongside, I have a red and pink owlbear, a rose jay, the Sabertooth, alongside the big wolves there. And they are pretty cute, but my next mods in the future won't be using summons because they're a lot of work. And I am looking for feedback, so I am trying to make my mods better and better, and I do look to go back on my previous mods and update them with everything that I've learned. And I gotta say, the weapons for this are pretty fun. We got a hammer, a couple swords, and a bow. And I really hope that Dawnstar's psychic weapon spells comes to console soon, because this mod has full support with it, and it would work great alongside it. And one last note, I did make a Patreon here. I had people requesting it, where I will be sharing my mod updates on future mods, so I will have that linked in the description. But next up, we got the Mindflayer Race mod, playable Lithid here by ACE243. So like other mods by Ace, you're going to get an item here that lets you transform. It's just going to replace your underwear slot there. And there's a variety of different outfit colors for the Mind Flayers there. So they have different outfit appearances. They got like the rich Mind Flayer or just the regular armor here. And that is what it looks like. It will shift the camera up a little bit higher than your character, but whenever they do move around, they do fly like that, which is kind of cool. And yeah, they do have a variety of different outfits here. So if you want to look like a specific type of Mind Flayer, you got plenty of options here. So yeah, there's a choice between 18 different Mind Flayers here, so you can get real creative with how you want your character to look. So that is the Mindflayer Race mod by Ace. And you do get some powerful spells with it, but you don't have to use them. They will be on your skill bar there. You can just kind of ignore them. And next up, we have this amazing outfit here, which is the Stellar Nocturne outfit set by Barry Semifreddo. There are 2 versions available for bodies types 1 and 2 here for humans, elves, half-elf, drow, and tiefling. And you can see what the outfit looks like here. There is a few different versions of it, so you can see within it, you got also just a regular ordinary one that is less of a robe, and it does have the cloak here, which I think the cloak looks amazing. The cloak only works on body types 2, otherwise it looks like that, or body type 1 and 2. It doesn't work on 3 and 4. It also comes with shoes, and then you can just put the shoulder pads or the necklace on if you wanted. So you got full creative control over how you want this to look on your character. And there's also camp clothing versions too, so you can swap between them depending on how you want your character to look. But I love the moving star pattern on it. It just looks really sweet. So this is definitely worth checking out. The Stellar Nocturne outfit set by Barry Semifreddo. Next up, we got the Tarot Feat Major Arcana here by Yoon Moon Sik. So this goes ahead and adds in a new feat selection here. It'll probably be near the bottom. You get to choose a selection of a +1 to one of your stats, and then you get to pick a tarot card. So there's a bunch of different effects here, like the Fool. Once per long rest, when you fail a saving throw, you can succeed. The Magician, when you expend a spell slot, there's a chance you may regain it as you level, or the Higher the spell slot level, the greater the chance. That is a pretty powerful one. We also got the High Priestess. Whenever you deal radiant damage, you deal additional radiant equal to your proficiency bonus. The Empress, whenever you restore hit points, they get an equal amount to proficiency bonus. The Emperor, roll a number of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus and give it to the target as a temporary hit points, and it'll also increase to a d6 and a d8 later on. The Hierophant will reduce the amount of damage that your teammates take by your proficiency bonus. Lover's card here. You can choose one creature to give an armor class bonus equal to half your proficiency bonus, while within 3 meters you also get that same bonus. There's also the Chariot, increasing your movement speed, and you do not provoke opportunity attacks whenever you dash as a bonus action. Strength will improve your crit chance by 1. The Hermit here, whenever you move into a lightly or heavily obscured area, you become invisible. The Wheel of Fortune, at the start of your turn, roll a d20. If the result is equal to lower than your proficiency bonus, you gain 1 additional action that turn. Pretty cool. The Justice, when you hit a creature with a melee attack, it takes force damage equal to half your proficiency bonus. The Hanged Man gives you an additional reaction, which is pretty powerful. The Death here, whenever you go down, you stand back up, basically Death Ward. Temperaments, you get hit points if you're below half your normal amount, and you get it equal to your proficiency bonus. The Devil, immune to Charmed or Frightened. When you inflict Charmed or Frightened on a foe, they take psychic damage equal to your level. The Tower gives you Wild Magic Surge chance. The Star makes you immune to the blinding condition and can see through magical darkness as if it was brightly lit, which is pretty strong. The Moon, when you're lightly or heavily obscured, you gain a bonus to all saving throws equal to your proficiency bonus. The Sun, if you're in light, you get to heal yourself for 1d4 and deal additional 1d4 of damage. Then the Judgment here, whenever an attack against you misses, that enemy takes equal damage to your proficiency bonus of Force type. And the World here, once per long rest, you can cause every other creature except yourself to become frozen in time for 2 turns. Some powerful options, but it's fun to have new things to mess around with. I think this is a pretty cool mod. But next up, we got the OIO Verbose Flags, and Flags in Dialogue by Xmas214. I really like the over-explained interaction options mod. Whenever you go to talk to a creature, or anyone really, you get to see what the outcome of that is. This has about 10 times more quest flags added, so you can see exactly what is going to happen. This is for people that love Baldur's Gate 3 and want to know every minute detail that can happen in the game. It adds 1,600 extra flags from Night Song points to Owlbear management. I think this is amazing, so definitely check it out if you find these type of mods interesting. Now we got some awesome head mods here. This one by Sweet Generous Things Mods adds in 3 heads for body type 1 and 3 heads for body type 2. It's available for humans, half-elves, elves, drow, and tieflings. I was using this the entire time. I really like these head mods. So we got the Ray here. Vienne, like the sausage, and Brill here. So the nice thing about these mods is they look pretty good while they're in like animation, talking, and things like that. Another thing, I like to throw on the makeup here, makeup 7 from the base game, and jack that up. I just find that it accents the eyes really well, so this is a mod that I find benefits greatly from that. Now for body type 2, we got the Aver head here, so I'll give you a look at what this one here looks like, alongside the Arthur face, which kind of gives me some Timothy Chalamet vibes, and the Damier, Damier, my bad. I'll show their images because they did a great job of showcasing this here. So yeah, that's all the heads in action. There's the Arthur, Vienne. I really like this head mod, and I'm glad to see this is now available on console. Now next up, we got the Juniper head preset here, which is by Arcana. And this is nice because it adds in a head for body type 1 gnomes, and it also has a vampiric version of it. So this is what it looks like. I have this on a human here, currently using a hair mod that released last week on console, or 2 weeks ago on console. And here's the vampire version. You can't really see it, but there is little bite marks on the neck there. You can kind of see it. And they'll also have vampiric teeth. And again, if you're playing as a gnome, you got access to these heads, and I do think that they are pretty solid, so if you're looking for something new for your gnome playthrough, this is definitely worth checking out. So the Juniper head preset here by Arcana. And next up, we got the Lydia's Heads Mon Cher here by Playmon. Now, Mon Cher means my dear in French, and this one here is for body type 4 human, half-elf, elf, drow, tiefling, and body type 2 half-orc. Normal orc, Mon Cher. Normal orc, Mon Cher. I really like this because, again, the half-orcs don't have many options for heads. I actually don't have any other head mods right now installed. And there aren't many head mods for body type 4, so it's nice to just have another selection here. So the Mon Cher, I'll go through a couple of their images here so you get an idea of what it looks like. This is pretty solid. And next we got the Lydia's Heads for body type 1 Githyanki's Volume 1 and Volume 3, but not Volume 2. So we'll go through all the heads here. So these are for body type 1 Githyanki only. And Volume 1, this is the Volume 1. So we got the Elliot head here. I'll zoom in there. Ezra, not Miller. The Hannah head here. And Rin. No Kakashi. For the third pack here, we got the Adora Blaze, Faith, and Yuki. And again, Githyanki don't have many options for head mods, so yeah, it's nice to have some more options out there for players. So these mods are made by PlayMod. Now next up we got the Mage Seeker mod here by Kojoro. So the Mage Seeker, they get a choice of unique cantrips here with the Arcane Overload doing a 1d8 force damage, inflicting with the Arcane Blight, or the Mana Leak, which will give the target Mind Fog, Static Sever, which will silence the target if they fail an intelligence save, and Weave Breaker, which does your weapon damage plus additional force damage and inflicts them with Mind Fog. You also get to take a fighting style. Level 2 lets you interrupt a spell being cast, and it'll have disadvantage on the saving throw and the spell attack rolls. But level 3 is when you get to choose between subclasses. You got the spell Ravager here, which gives you Arcane Resurgence, absorb magical damage. You take half from magical and do an additional 1d6 of that damage type, similar to like the Cloak of the Weave. And there's also the Ravager's Blessing, kind of similar to the Fiend Warlock subclass ability. The Mana Stalker here gets the Brand Unlock, which does a 1d6 of necrotic damage using your anti-magic pool charges. And it's a Merc, so it'll take additional damage whenever you hit them with a future attack. There's also a subclass feature, the Magic Tracker, gives proficiency in survival and perception, and advantage on investigation and nature checks. Level 4 gives you advantage on saving throws against spells. You can use a reaction to make an attack against target that makes a spell attack within a close range of you. You also have They have disadvantage on saving throws and maintain concentration when you attack them. And the disruptive damage, you can do an additional 1d6 of force damage to the attacker for 2 anti-pool charges. So this class obviously focuses on taking down any type of spellcaster. The typical gameplay loop revolves around using the Weave Breaker if you took that as your ability, because it's just a weapon attack that adds additional damage and it's going to debuff the enemy, so you can just continually keep spamming it. And Mind Fog is going to give the target disadvantage on concentration, saving throws, and attack rolls. So yeah, you basically just want to run around spamming that attack on everybody. And there is also full level 20 support for this mod here. So again, the mod is the Mage Seeker by Kojoro. Next up, we got the extra attack, offhand attack 2-weapon fighting here by Creative Excuses, the creator of the Chocolate Mode mod. Finally, a mod for left-handed people like myself. But basically what this does is whenever you do your bonus action attack, you actually get an extra attack on top of that. So some functions similar to level 5 extra attack, but for your bonus action. I think this is a really cool mod and worth checking out if you like the dual-wielding type attackers. Next up, we got Shadowheart's Improved Gear, Better and Progressive by Ace243. Now, one quick thing I do want to quickly mention is I was talking with Ace. It says here that the Ace Angel Race mod is available on console and Mac, but I don't believe so. It does not look like it was updated. I didn't see it on my end, but let me know if you can see this. I just don't think it is actually updated here, but if it is on console, there's a mod that is actually an appearance that's meant to look kind of like myself, so pretty cool stuff. But for Shadowheart's Improved Gear and Better Progressive, I know this one is actually on console. It is listed here as being on console. Now with this, it is some pretty powerful armor, but some people like that type of mod. You get some increased armor class with her clothing here. There's also some powerful weapons that will scale up, and they're progressive, so as you continue throughout the game, you're going to get more and more buffs on these. And there's also gloves here is going to give you +6 to your dexterity and sets your base score to 12 there. There's also a cloak here that gives you so you can't get critically hit. I'll just let you go through and check these out if you're curious. It is a little bit strong, but you may find that to be fun if you're looking for a new Shadowheart playthrough. So the progressive equipment, improved gear for Shadowheart by Ace, and maybe this one might be on console too. But next up, we got the Hellions Ornaments Karlachs Piercings by Revolution Scribe. I gotta say, piercings look pretty good on Karlach. So much so that I made her a Wild Heart Barbarian in one of my playthroughs just because I think it's suiting for her. So yeah, this mod just makes so that she has these piercings at all times. I think this is nice and worth downloading if you're a fan of Karlach. And next up, we got updates to mods here. So Queen's Garments has received an update. This mod is not fully updated onto console here, so this is now just like the 85-day-old version. It doesn't add in some of the outfits that I'm a little questionable if they'll make it onto console because they are from other games that released recently, but maybe we'll see them, maybe not. We'll just have to wait and see, but Queen's Garments is updated. Also, the DTO Otherworldly Archetypes mod by Zaylin here, which adds in a bunch, 12 new subclasses, has been updated with some bug fixes alongside compatibility for the 5e spells. Not that that really applies to console, but there's also an update to Ancient Mega Pack. I'm always impressed whenever they update this because there's a lot that goes into updating a mod of this size. With new updates coming out like 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 8 days ago, there's a lot of updates, and it's actually wild how much they go ahead with updating these mods for consoles. Well, I imagine this takes quite some time. There's also updates to the Arcane Vanguard here by Sathos, which is really nice. Check this out if you haven't already. We also got Ember's wardrobe updates alongside Ember's loots. Shovel Evolved by Xaeon also got an update alongside item and spell bug fixes by Rydiak. What an awesome week though for drops. I am so excited my Heartsworn Knight Fighter is now available on console. Again, let me know your thoughts on it because I am working on my next model, hopefully be releasing next week. I actually have 2 subclass mods in the work currently. So again, you can check out my Patreon for future updates on that. But I hope you guys all have an incredible day. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.